Good afternoon, dear students. Today's class, we are going to learn about a new lesson, maps. See, dear students, in the previous lesson, we learned about globe. So we often knows that the globe and the uses of the globe and the advantage of globe. See, anyhow, globe has limitations as well. Of course, dear students, it has some limitations. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth has the entire or the complete whole. When we want to study the complete earth, when we want to know about the complete earth, the whole earth, then there is no doubt. So it is so useful. But dear students, when we want to study only a part of the earth, any one part of the earth, not the entire earth. So, for example, we want to study about our country, states, districts, towns, and villages. This is one example. So, we would like to study about only our country, India, and Indian states, and Indian districts, and also Indian towns and villages. See, it is of little help. So, in such a situation, we are using maps. Are you getting, dear students? So, when we are going to study about any particular area, maybe a city, maybe a village, maybe a town, maybe a country, maybe a state, okay, that particular region, so more than globe, the map is so useful. So, what is the meaning of map? See, a map is there, no? It is actually a representation of a drawing of the earth, the drawing of the earth surface or a part of it. It is the representation of a drawing of the earth's surface. That's all, or a part of it. See, it is drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. So, maps are drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. But it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. It is not possible to flatten a round shape completely. We cannot. Only we can flat. Getting, dear students? So once again, I would like to repeat the same. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it, and drawn on a flat surface according to the scale. But it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. See, we find that maps are useful to us for various purposes. So, one map shows a small area and a new facts, and another map may contain as many as the facts as a big book. Getting noticed. See, I think you all of you heard about a map book, the name Atlas. See, these maps are very useful, dear students. Very useful, and we are using maps for various purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts, and another map maybe contains as many as facts. Of so that used to called as a atlas. It is the collection of map book. See, when many maps are put together, we get an atlas. It is the collection of maps. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಬುಕ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಏನಿರುತ್ತದು? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿವರಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಂತಹ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕವಾದಂತಹ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ atlas. See, atlases are in a different sizes available. So that's very, that, so we can get the books in a different size the same. So the atlas are also available in different sizes and even the different measurements also. See here, whatever it may be, the different size or different measurements drawn on different scales. See, maps provides us more information than a globe. So compared to globe, we can get a lot of information by studying the maps. So dear students, there are different types of maps. So now let us study those the different types of maps. So there are varieties of maps we are using. So what are the different types or the varieties of maps? Now let us study the types of maps. So the first and foremost important types, which we call as a physical maps. Physical maps. So dear students, in this physical map, we can observe natural features of the earth. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಒಂದು ಭೌಗೋಳಿಕ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್. Natural features of our earth. So, what are the natural features? So, we all of you know that. So, such as mountains, plains, hills, and even the rivers. Okay, valleys. Understood, dear students? So, oceans, and even the plateau. So there are etc. See, these are all about the physical. So here in these physical maps, so they are showing natural features of our earth such as mountains, plains, hills, rivers, valleys, oceans, plateaus, and even the desert. So the various relief features or physical features that shows. So that's what, dear students. So this used to called physical maps also, and as well as, so this used to called as a relief maps also. This used to called as a relief maps. I hope, dear students, you are aware about these physical maps. So please keep in your mind. Once again, I would like to repeat. So physical maps are showing natural features of our earth such as mountains, hills, deserts, plains, and even the oceans, rivers, plains, plateaus, so on, so things. And these physical maps are also called as relief maps. Got it now? Now the next. So the next it is about political maps. Got it, dear students? Political map. So the first one is physical and political maps. So what about these political maps? So here, sir, whether is there any what we called the it is about the politics, no, dear students, or it is about the political parties, no. Then what are these political maps? See, political maps are showing cities, towns, and villages. Political maps are showing towns, cities, and villages. That means the particular place, whether it may towns, whether it may city, whether it may villages, and even so, these political maps are showing different countries also. Countries or states or districts, etc. Getting dear students, and also these political maps showing different countries and states of the world with their boundaries also. It shows their what? With their boundaries. So getting dear students, so then we can very easily identify, so from where to where that particular country extended. The exact physical region of that respective state or country, the boundary of those states and country, that is also very clearly shown in these maps. And these maps are used to called as a political maps. Getting dear students? So political maps are showing towns, cities, villages, countries, state, district, and so on, so things. And also, dear students, the political maps are actually showing the different states, the different countries with their boundaries also. The boundary of that respective state, the boundary of the respective regions or the country. So that's also showing in this political maps. So and these maps are used to called as a political maps. And the next one, thematic maps. Thematic maps. See, sometimes, dear students, on maps, there we can observe that. So those maps are focused on specific information, not dealing with everything. So in that particular map, so shows are focusing on particular or specific information, particular or specific information. They are focused on only the that particular or the specific information. For example, road maps. Are you getting this? So thematic map right? So the some maps focus on particular what we call information or specific information we can get. For example, road maps. See, in these road maps, those maps providing information about only the road, and even the rainfall maps. There we can get the information about only the rainfall. And even the maps are showing a distribution of the forest also. Distribution of the forest in that those map. So there we can observe only the distribution of the forest and even the industries. So in those map there we can see the distribution of the industry. See, like this dear students, some of the maps are focused on specific information such as road, rainfall, forest distribution and even the industries and so on so things. Whichever it may be the different map, focus on specific information. Those maps are actually used to called as a thematic maps. See here, suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. So they are going to give. I mean, these maps are going to give. So the specific information, the basis of information. Getting dear students, see there are the three types of maps but we are using in our daily life to get different information and to know or to learn about the different things such as physical maps where we can observe which maps are showing only the physical features of our earth such as mountains, rivers, plains, plateaus, and even the desert and hill areas and so on so things. And these maps are also used to call as a relief maps also. And so, which are the maps showing towns, cities, countries, and the states and the villages, and even the country states and the countries or states boundaries also. And those maps are used to call as political maps and which are the maps providing specific information or focusing on specific information and those maps are used to called as a thematic map such as road maps, rainfall maps and even the distribution of the forest also and even the distribution of industries and so on so things. See, here suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. Is it clear? Now, let us discuss about the components of the maps. The components of the maps. What are the components of a map? So, there are three components are there. There are three components are there. So, the first thing that distance getting now. So, there are three major components are there such as distance and direction and symbols. Getting dear students. So, these three are major components of the maps distance, direction, and symbols. Getting dear students, distance, direction, and symbol. So, these three are components of the map. Getting now? Now, let us discuss about distance. One of the major component of the map, distance. So, what is the meaning of distance? In Kannada, we used to call it as a antara. That means distance, dura, antara. See, maps are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಎಷ್ಟು ವಿಶಾಲವಾದದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಭೂಮಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವಿಶಾಲವಾದದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅವು ಅಷ್ಟು ವಿಶಾಲವಾದಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಟು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಮೂಲೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಆನ್ ಅ ಶೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಭಾರತ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಸೊ ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತದ ಸೊ ಈ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು A4 ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟರೊಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So we can say maps are drawn to reduced scales. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ? ಹಂಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಭಾರತವನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಮುದ್ರಳ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ನೋ, ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್, ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ಸ್, ಅಂತರವನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಡನ್ ವೆರಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲಿ. ಸೊ ವೈಲ್ reducing we should be very careful so that the distance between the places is real. I can show in the map. So look here dear students, so this is what the south India, and I can show, so this is what Kanyakumari, and here Karnataka. Of course dear students, see here what about the distance. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಗೆರೆ ಹಿಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿಂದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸೋಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. Are getting dear students? See, it can only be possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. That represents, okay. See, therefore, a scale is chosen for this purpose. We are using a scale. So, scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Getting dear students? Scale ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, what we are using scale. So the scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಒರಿಜಿನಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೇಪರ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ರೇಷಿಯೋನ ಅದು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಸೊ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, so I would like to continue in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.